All I gotta say was this. That was freaking amazing. That was amazing. I mean, I told you guys. I told you, and I know people are gonna be like, well, who said that was gonna happen? There's some haters out there, obviously. So, and I saw a few like, oh, Tom Brady's gonna be rusty. I don't know how good Tom Brady will be. I mean, he hasn't played since preseason. And I know it was against the Cleveland Browns, arguably the worst team in the NFL. I know. I'm not acting like they just did this against the Denver Broncos or the Seattle Seahawks or I want to say the Atlanta Falcons because I still, even though they beat the Broncos today, sorry, just whenever the Broncos lose, it's a beautiful sight to see. But anyways, what was I saying? It wasn't against, I guess you should say a Super Bowl contending team, obviously, by no stretch of the imagination. It was a number one pick contending team, but 406 yards is 406 yards, guys. And Tom Brady looked better than ever, honestly. It's funny how the Patriots haven't had a deep threat wide receiver in God knows how long. It feels like forever. I mean, the last one is Troy Brown wasn't a deep threat really, and Deion Branch loved the whole screen passes, and every once in a while he might try to go deep down the field. But the Patriots haven't had a deep threat wide receiver in forever. And Chris Hogan, brother, was beasting and feasting, as Chris Move would say. He was going insane. And apparently Martellus Bennett is like a god on this team. I swear to you, the most consistent offensive player has been Martellus Bennett. I think I said it before. If I haven't, I'm saying it now. He's a man. And Gronk actually showed up. I said within a week or two, the real Gronk, please stand up. And he showed up. So, and I know, was it Cody Kessler got injured, the former USC Trojan quarterback? Jesus himself, Jesus, a.k.a. Charlie Whitehurst, had to come in the game. Clipboard Jesus, as he was once named, I believe. But I had a good feeling about this team. Yeah, I said it. Once Tom Brady, and they're still doing this without, excuse me, they're still doing this without Dion Lewis. I know James White trying to do his best Dion Lewis impersonation, and it ain't working all that great. I mean, it's okay, but it's not amazing. And they're still without, I believe, at least a couple of offensive linemen. So, imagine this team with everybody on the field. Now, again, I'm not going to exaggerate. I'm not going to be like, Super Bowl, baby, which, it's a possibility, of course. It's a possibility. Just like it's any possibility for, I guess, any good record right now in either the I won't say the Eastern Conference. I'm already thinking the NBA, the AFC, and the NFC. Duh. But I don't know. I mean, today looked like the biggest FU to Roger Goodell and FU NFL from Mr. Tom Brady. The guy was. I know it was the Browns, but guys, he hasn't played in like a game in like 2 months. The last time he played was what? The preseason game against, I want to say it was the Giants, but it could, yeah, it was against the Giants. He didn't play that well that game, but still, it's been a while. I mean, this guy has been chilling at home with his wife and kids. This guy was, a couple weeks ago, I think he was at the Michigan Wolverines game. So, he's been busy, sort of. And he just comes back like nothing happened. Nothing happened. Like, oh, he was suspended 4 games for, deflating footballs or had anything to do with deflating footballs. Which, by the way, can we finally let that go? Alright, because there's still no proof of it. It's a theory. Yes, it's a theory. Just like everything else is a theory. You can make a theory about anything. But, and it was not just Tom Brady, too. The defense obviously played well, but again, facing the Browns. So I'm not jumping for joy, like, oh my God, this is the world's greatest team. Let me tell you something. And I'm trying to think of top of my head who they're facing next week. The Patriots. The Browns, I don't care. Browns. Who's bright side Cleveland fans? You're probably gonna get your payback, your revenge. Speaking of revenge, your boy has 4 picks right thus far this week. Because every other team is just going, screw you, Chris. We're not going to have you. Actually, next week they got the Bengals at home. Oh, my God. Oh, rest in peace, Cincinnati. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, oh, God, the Cowboys, we don't know how bad their defense is, and, like, Andy Dalton and company is having a hard time to, like, keep up with the Cowboys. To keep up with the Kardashians, keep up with the Cowboys. Oh, God. And their defense is so not good. So disappointing, that defense for the Bengals. But it's funny because they didn't really lose anyone defensively, notably, I think, within the last year or two. And yet now, all of a sudden, they suck defensively. So, anywho, I don't know what else to say, guys. I mean, I wish I could be more into it. I know last week I was just, like, depressed as hell. And I was like, please, God, bring Tom Brady back sooner. And, of course, Tom Brady came back, and he played well. And the rest of the team played well. Like, Harry Blount's been a good running back. I mean, not the best, obviously, but still, one of the better running backs, I think, consistent running backs that the Patriots have had in quite a while now. I mean, let's face it, Stephen Ridley was the fumble machine, and Lawrence Maroney, and oh God, do I even want to go back to memory lane of all the running backs of the Patriots are like, oh look, let's put him behind Brady, let's see how this goes. And it just hasn't ended all that well. But anywho, Patriots win. They proved to 4-1 in the season. They face another AFC North opponent, of course, at home against the Bengals. And yeah, I don't know about the Bengals. I mean, I want to say this is going to be a close game. Like, I truly want to, honestly, I want to say this is a close game. But the Bengals are playing a little disappointing, to say the least. And, by the way, screw Joe Flacco. I had him in one of my deep fantasy leagues because Cam Newton got injured, and he was, like, the quote-unquote best available option in the waiver wire. So I was like, oh, pick up Joe Flacco. And the Ravens, remember they were undefeated? Boy, and they lost 2 straight games. Amazing. Anyways, I'm catching up subject here. But no, seriously though, back to the game real quick. It was good to see LeGarrette Blount continue to be consistent. It's good to see Brock Gronkowski woke up. Chris Hogan looks like someone that, Chris Hogan and Tom Brady, I noticed in preseason were like connecting really well as well. So if Chris Hogan's available in your fantasy league, I'd pick him up. Because this guy is the number 2 wide receiver on this team, and teams are still thinking about, we're gonna watch out about Julian Edelman, we're gonna watch out for Rob Gronkowski, and Chris Hogan's like, what about me? So if you see Chris Hogan available in your fantasy league and you need a wide receiver desperately, I'd pick him up as soon as possible. I know you can't pick him up now because most leagues it's not available till Tuesday. So Tuesday, remind yourself. Pick up Chris Hogan because he looks like he could be something in this offense. And of course, Tom Brady looked great. The offensive line played well, and that's another thing too. I'm really impressed at how this offensive line is doing for the Patriots because I remember specifically within the last several years, this Patriots offensive line was just bad. All right, you just had guys that were and I get it. At one point, freaking Bill Belichick might as well be recruiting guys off the street and saying, hey, you want to play offensive line? You're a big boy. You want to be offensive line and get a good paycheck out of it? Come on in New England. But the offensive line's coming together. Defense, obviously, is playing rather well. Defense played rather well, I think, throughout this whole season. I mean, the only game I could think of that the defense didn't play all that well was, Arizona, they played kind of good, I guess you want to say that. I guess Miami's the only game that really got me worried against them. So we all know how good Miami is. Last of the Titans. How about them apples? Anyways, well, I haven't said that in forever. How about them apples? Anyways, that's it for me, guys. Patriots win this one 33-13 over the Browns. The Browns are the Browns. They face the Titans next week, so yeah, unless the Titans have a complete utter meltdown, that should be a W for the Titans. So there you go. Sports fan entertainment, alright. I haven't seen your video yet. I know you just posted a video about the Titans winning. So I'll check that a little later. But anyways, I gotta stop saying anyways in this video. Anywho, technically different. That's it for me, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below. Subscribe to this channel if you have not. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Follow me on Twitter. The link will be down in the description box. Check out webpausgames.com for some cool Halloween games. And that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Later.